What up and welcome to Rama Screen YouTube channel, and here's my review of Syfy new series Revival. Let's rock this. Hell yeah! As soon as I heard that this show was gonna feature Melanie Scrofano, I was like, when can I start screening this already? Because I was a huge fan of Wynonna Earp series. Well, its first few seasons were fun at least, and I think Melanie is such an underrated actress. So, her new supernatural show, Revival, is based on the graphic novels I have never read before, but I've already watched the first 6 episodes, and trust me when I say that this is unlike any other zombie typical story. Yes, there are elements of horror involved, but the psychological drama weighs much heavier. So don't think of it as a George A. Romero style, but think of it more like a Coen Brothers Fargo comparison. There's a significant whodunit murder mystery that kinda emulates Dude, Where's My Car formula, meaning you gotta trace your steps back and your memory only surfaces in bits and pieces gradually along the way. Now, having seen these first few episodes, I can kinda see where the story is heading, and it's heading towards prejudice and racism, or at least it's trying to give that type of social commentary with the Revivers Registry and all that. But that does go to the nature and the intention and the heart of the show itself, which is to give you a more compelling character-driven narrative of the zombie apocalypse that's not necessarily always about the creature effects or the jump scares. Created and co-show run by Aaron B. Koontz and Luke Boyce and based on the popular comic book series by Image Comics, in Revival, on one miraculous day in rural Wisconsin, the recently deceased suddenly rise from their graves. This is no zombie story, however, as the revived appear and act just like they once were. When local officer and single mother Dana Cypress is unexpectedly thrown into the center of a brutal murder mystery of her own, she is left to make sense of the chaos amidst a town gripped by fear and confusion where everyone alive or undead is a suspect, starring Melanie Scrofano, Rami Weltman, David James Elliott, and Andy McQueen. Since this review arrives ahead of the show's premiere, I'm not allowed to spill spoilers, so forgive me if sometimes I talk cryptically in this video, but I can tell you that there is more to like about Revival as opposed to its downsides. Now, I don't mean to be nasty and all, but a part of me kinda wishes this show was not on Syfy channel. I wish it airs on some other network or some other streaming service platform, because Syfy has the reputation of not being taken seriously, you know what I mean? And I genuinely think that this show has the potential to become more, had it not had the usual Syfy stench in terms of the tone, the style, the lighting, the colorization, the way that some of the episodes are directed, because I do appreciate Revival's unique approach to zombies. Another fair criticism would be the pacing that feels slow on some parts, but I do find the character arcs absorbing, including the whole sibling secret and their dynamics with their uptight sheriff dad. And then there's also a sort of religious cultish angle that's a bit choppy in these first few episodes, but color me intrigued. The tone is dark and ominous with a bit of cheesy humor thrown in here and there. Excellent set designs that gives it that small town noir. There's a visually unsettling vibe to it as well. The cast is diverse, with most of them Canadian-based actors, obviously. The will they, won't they romance is a bit awkward, but the overall story is easy to follow and it moves like a page-turner. Which leads us to the actors. Melanie Scrofano sheds her Wynonna Earp's funny, badass demeanor for a more of a protective mama bear or a protective big sister persona in this new role, and she plays it pretty straight. Rami Weltman as her on-screen sister M also gives a strong performance, along with David James Elliott, who as their dad and the town sheriff is expectedly old school stubborn. Ooh, and WWE superstar CM Punk shows up recurringly. Let's just say, to no surprise, CM plays a criminal mastermind with anger management issue. But yeah, CM is quite alright on this show. Very on brand, very in character so to speak, at times very forceful and aggressive. CM plays a very intimidating villain. So yeah, overall I give Revival the rating of 3.5 out of 5. Yes, it's not fair to judge an entire show based on just the first 6 episodes. But I am confident enough to say that Revival is fresh, engaging, and could become the latest fan favorite sensation.